Breaking Ties with Mentor Britt, certified life coach and survivor. This is where I help others turn wishful thinking into powerful action. Being a survivor myself of many trials, I've learned to not only remain positive in situations that disrupted my plans, but also how to continue to reach dream after dream despite adversity always finding its way to me. In this podcast, I share new topics daily. Let's go ahead and break those ties and turn wishes into reality together. I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it too. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Ruby Tuesday, and we will be talking on Tuesdays about crystals and how they help us heal and why we're drawn to certain gems and things along those lines. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what led me to this area of my life. So years ago, I'd always been drawn towards crystals. My family at one point made jewelry, and my biological family, that is, who I only had like 4 years of visitation with in the long run in my childhood. So they made jewelry at some point during that time, and it always drew me towards understanding why certain gems are the way they are and why we're drawn to them. Now I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that I personally am technically not qualified, I guess, in per se of like the conception of the gems, but I want to talk to you guys about how they have helped me heal. So this is more about my own personal journey and kind of why you guys may be drawn to certain different gems or crystals as well. So I'm excited for this topic for you guys. This one today, what I'm going to talk about is Selenite. And this was one of my first crystals I ever got my hands on. I had a heart-shaped Selenite, which shockingly I ended up losing, which isn't surprising to me now after knowing what I know about crystals and gems and things along those lines. But I got a heart-shaped Selenite crystal and I put it underneath my pillow, and I had written with it the things that I wanted to achieve for especially me and Caden. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get a heart-shaped is because at that point in my time I was focusing on love in my life, feeling loved, being worthy of love, being able to show love, things along those lines. Oddly enough, of course, at this time, this is when things were going kind of haywire with my ex, and long and behold, that crystal ended up getting lost. But at the same time, before I lost it completely, it definitely paved a way for where I'm at currently in my life. So Selenite, what I love about it is it's really easy to find. There's many different forms of it. It's easily carvable. So I now have a brick of Selenite that says I am enough on it, and I swear that thing is always with me or always beside me, or I'm always going to it when I absolutely feel like maybe I'm struggling with my worth. And so a little history on Selenite is it's appreciated a lot by the ancient Greeks, and it's named to be one of the transparent or translucent white crystals, which means moon in Greek. White gypsum crystals, so it's a selenite, which means moon in Greek. And basically what they used to do is they would put this selenite as a window on two buildings, and it would help them see the moon more clearly and help them just be able to see clearly in general. And so it has kind of this really cool history about it, but what I love about it is it's truly meant for clarity and purification and being aware and bringing awareness to everything. So it's one of my favorites because I've been working on my healing journey for quite some time now, related to many different areas of my life. Selenite is a clear crystal, but like I said, it's easy to be carved, and it's easy to find, so it's pretty cheaper of the other ones. But I love this crystal because what it does, at least for me personally, what it has done, and having it in like almost every room of mine in my house, is you can really feel the energy shift even when I need help with certain minor things in my life. I can go to a room where I have it out in the open instead of kind of hidden, and I can immediately feel like things are being worked on, at least on my subconscious level, even though I don't quite know all the things that it's doing. And there's a lot of people that, of course, say that, using crystals in general can lead to other areas that aren't healing. But for me personally, I find that it's very healing. So selenite is not a very hard crystal. On a level of 10, it's about a 2. So it's really easy to crack and break, and you have to be kind of careful with it. And it is a sulfate, so it's kind of like a salt, but it is more of a clear salt in the way that it holds itself as far as the mineral family that it's in. So one of the things that this one does is it brings serenity, and it makes sure that whatever path you're on, you're finding that peace to whatever it is that you're looking for. So for me, of course, it was being on the journey of finding myself worthy of love. Because at the time, I didn't feel like I was getting that worthiness of love, and I didn't feel I was getting appreciated in the way that I needed to. So having the selenite with me at all times, because I had it in a bracelet and I had this heart, like I said, that I slept with, it was able to bring constant positive thoughts and constant purification to know you are worthy. I was constantly reminded that I'm worthy of it. I'm capable of it. Even with all my flaws, I'm still no less worthy than my neighbor of being successful, having love, having what I need for my kids, everything along those lines. So one of the things that I love to do, because this is such a purifying crystal, is I find a piece that I can have with me almost at all times that I have with me, and then I also have a piece that I keep specifically underneath where I dream, because personally I find that my subconscious does the most healing while I'm in my sleep, and my dreams that I have are some of the most vivid revelations that I've ever had in my life, including like last night's dream. It just brings this peace of mind that things are going to go the way that they're meant to go, whether we know it or not, whether we see it or not, whether we have a clear path for it or not. And so it always brings the inner peace, and it's great if you're in a transformation part of your life, because whether it's internally or externally, whichever, because it just simply keeps purifying and bringing clarity and helping you focus on your intuition and using that gut power that we all have. It brings that more aware. So selenite works a lot with the crown chakra, and the crown chakra is us building that intuition into being able to go after the things that we know we need to, even if we don't necessarily have a plan for them. And because it works with the moon so well, and it's associated with the moon, it's very, very easy to use, especially at night. At least I find it is. So that's why I like to sleep with it. And that's why I have a bracelet that I have that, well, I used to have, that I would wear at all times, but especially at night, and especially when the moon was in the Leo phase, I would make sure, because I'm a Leo, I would make sure that it is always worn, especially in those times. Because it helps take away the doubts and the negative energy and the concerns and the wondering and the why, and it gives you those answers even if you don't quite understand it. So when I started sleeping with the heart, this one was, of course, me finding love, and now I have that brick that says I am enough, and it's working on my worthiness. And so when I use those specific versions of this, I am able to really focus in and hone in on what I need to do to better myself, to get through those points, to really feel like I have achieved that area. And sometimes it's me letting go of things, which I find giving that away while working with this specific crystal helps a ton to be able to do that. Now, because this crystal is a healer, and because it's meant for clarity, anyone that is in some kind of area in their life where they need that more cleansing and clarity and awareness of things that they may not be aware of, you'll be drawn to this, usually. If you're a Taurus, you're also going to be drawn to this because this crystal is directly associated with being a Taurus. And if you have a lot of air elements in your natal chart, you'll also find you may be drawn to this even more. So this crystal specifically really helps you get that awareness to where you can make those next moves, come up with a plan, be able to be at peace with the plan, and really bring those positive thoughts and positive energy into your life while taking away the negative and being able to move forward in your life and your healing. At least for me. That's what I've found it's done. That's some of the healing properties that it's most known for. If this is something that it's done for you, definitely let me know in the comments. If this is something that you are interested in finding out which direct crystal you need for yourself, definitely let me know that in the comments as well. And if you're interested in why we're drawn to certain points of these crystals in different parts of our lives, because we're not always drawn to all of them, this is definitely one of the days that you're going to want to tune in with us. It's one of the days that we're going to dive deep into all of those things and just why we have those needs. And of course, everyone's needs are not the same. This probably is not an episode or a series that everyone wants in on, and that is totally okay. Like I said, this is again mostly sharing my own personal connections that I've had with these crystals and why I have been drawn to certain ones and why you may be drawn to certain ones. And again, sharing the healing powers of each of the different crystals and gems that we may come into contact with, even if we don't know it, because sometimes people don't realize it, that they have encountered that without recognizing it, and it happens often. So go ahead, let me know what you think in the comments, and of course I think next week will be a little bit better. This is a new series for me, kind of jumping off of the ship a little bit because I've just felt drawn to do this, but I definitely feel like this will help guide a few people along the way of what could help them and be beneficial to them, as well as sharing my own stories about why we may encounter certain things. So I love you guys. I really hope that you have a great time. I hope you had a great Labor Day yesterday, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.